In Pasadena, amidst the ashes of the LA fires, these two frauds staged another self-serving photo op using the tragedy of the LA fires as their backdrop. Let's deep dive into Harry and Meghan's so-called compassion and fleeting service of approximately 17 minutes. A stunt so fake, it's making me roll my eyes so far back that they've actually gotten stuck. If you thought you couldn't hate Harry and Meghan's lack of self-awareness more, think again. Stay tuned for my brutal, scathing call-out of Harry and Meghan's latest exploitation of the most vulnerable. All this and more on The Royal Grift. This is your daily dose of all things royal. Imagine this. Los Angeles is in flames. People's lives are being torn apart. And what do we see? Harry and Meghan, the ambulance-chasing ghouls of celebrity culture, showing up in Pasadena. For what? A photo op? A chance to pretend they give a damn? They drove 90 miles, not to help, but to make sure the cameras were rolling, capturing their so-called compassion. Let's call it what it is, okay? Another PR stunt of the lowest order. These two assholes, with their fake smiles and contrived concern, are using the backdrop of human tragedy once again to polish their brand. This is so sick and exploitative, and frankly, it's making people hate them even more. So it's no surprise that TMZ was given the heads up that Harry and Meghan were going to be at this location and actively participating in the ongoing wildfire relief efforts. What boggles my mind is why did city officials take time out from helping victims to give these two a tour of the LA fire devastation? Like, who are these two? They didn't give any type of relief aid. They stayed approximately 17 minutes. What did they actually do aside from just show up with a camera crew and crisis actors to pretend that they're actually doing something? Meghan Markle doesn't do anything out of the kindness of her heart. In fact, she doesn't even have a heart, in my opinion. There's always something in it for Meghan, and it's not just a PR stunt to so-called help their brand, but for Meghan, in my opinion, this was about staying in front of Gavin Newsom and the mayor for when the time comes and Biden releases all that federal emergency money. She wants to make sure that she's on that list to receive it when they dole it out to these NGOs pretending to care about helping these victims. And we all know how Gavin Newsom feels about Archewell Fugazi Public Charity. Otherwise, he would never have defended it when they went delinquent in filing their paperwork. So obviously, there's some sort of underlying acceptance of the grift that's going on here. Stay tuned, because you know it's coming, of a press release announcing Archewell in partnership with some unheard NGO that's going to be siphoning and laundering this tax money, all in the name of providing mental health services or some other bullshit. And what's being reported by people is that they understand the couple is focused on discreetly supporting wildfire relief efforts, witnessing both harrowing stories and strong community spirit. So they're just going around listening to people's stories and pretending that their presence is enough. There's no evidence of Harry and Meghan serving meals or anything that they have donated. And you'll hear a little bit later on the mayor talking about their visit. Nowhere does it talk about them helping out in this way. And how about we talk about that in-your-face hypocrisy with these two? While celebrities like Paris Hilton are opening up their wallets, focusing on real help rather than self-promotion, Harry and Meghan think just showing up is enough. They're not contributing, they're just performing. Their presence is nothing more than a slap in the face to those genuinely suffering. Who the fuck are they to survey the lands? They're not officials. They're not relief workers. They're just two selfish individuals who think their mere presence is a contribution. It's truly gaslighting at its finest. Convincing everyone they care while doing the bare minimum? I want to read to you Paris Hilton's heartbreaking post about losing everything. And in the midst of it all, she still is thinking about others. But on January 9th, she posts, "I'm standing here in what used to be our home, and the heartbreak is truly indescribable. When I first saw the news, I was in complete shock. I couldn't process it. But now, standing here and seeing it with my own eyes, it feels like my heart has shattered into a million pieces. This house wasn't just a place to live. It was where we dreamed, laughed, and created the most beautiful memories as a family. It was where Phoenix's little hands made art that I'll cherish forever, where love and life filled every corner. To see it reduced to ashes, it's devastating beyond words. What breaks my heart even more is knowing that this isn't just my story. So many people have lost everything. It's not just walls and roofs, it's the memories that made those houses homes. It's the photos, the keepsakes, the irreplaceable pieces of our lives. And yet, in this pain, I know I'm incredibly lucky. My loved ones, my babies, and my pets are safe. That's the most important thing, and I'm holding on to that gratitude with everything I have. And beyond grateful, to all the firefighters, first responders, and volunteers risking their lives to fight these fires. To everyone who has sent love, prayers, and kindness, you reminded me that even in the ashes, there is still beauty in this world. Thank you from the deepest part of my heart. And to everyone going through this pain, please know you're not alone. We're in this together. We will rebuild, we will heal, and we will rise stronger than before. Let this be a reminder to hold your loved ones close. Cherish the moments. Life can change in an instant, and it's the love we share that truly matters. I'm sending all my love to everyone who is hurting right now. So here's a woman who lost her multi-million-dollar home and the expensive things inside of it, and instead of playing the victim, chooses to humble herself and help others, recognizing what's really important in life. Meghan will always be disliked, not because people are racist, but because Meghan lacks any kind of self-awareness and she does not have the ability to think about anyone but herself. And there's nothing that any of us can do. So she's going to continue to keep making these mistakes and continue to keep playing the victim and blaming others because of the so-called haters. But that's not really it. It's because people see her for who she is, which is a selfish narcissist. And I don't know, there's no cure for this. So this is a woman who will be destined to be hated for the rest of her life. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and there's no changing or turning the ship on her because her inability to be able to look outside herself and see how others see her in order to make those changes. And that's her fundamental problem that, sadly, cannot be cured. And the cherry on top of all of this is when you look at this video, that woman is a crisis actor from Meghan's team. You heard that right. They left with an actor and crew proving every moment was staged. This wasn't about helping, it was about crafting a narrative. And there they are, walking away, probably thinking the cameras stopped rolling, with Meghan hugging the crisis actor, probably telling her that she did a good job in pretending to be this victim. When you look at this clip, it's so obvious that Meghan was positioning herself to make sure that the cameras got her hugging the mayor and that she is seen hugging Jose Andres, her friend from World Central Kitchen, who also works at the White House. And you notice that both of them are just hovering, waiting to get their photo op and on camera with Jose Andres. Clearly, he's talking to someone, but nope, Harry needs to tap him on the back, and Meghan is just standing there hovering, waiting to get her moment. You know, it's so contrived. And as they're standing there, saying goodbye to the mayor, Meghan wastes no time in going in for the kill, most likely pitching the Archwell-Fugazi Public Charity, because what we see here now is something that's being exchanged or given to Meghan and Harry. Who knows what it is that the mayor is giving these to, but I bet the Archwell-Fugazi Public Charity is now in the front of this guy's mind when it comes time to dole out some of that federal money in partnership with other NGOs.
How is it to have Prince Harry and Princess Markle here, Meghan here?
Well, you know, it's great people, great personalities, and great heart for them to come out here and meet with the first responders, meet with the people who are affected. Is very important. You know, they really buoyed the spirits of the first responders. We visited the command post at the Rose Bowl, and people were very happy to see them.
You see what's going on here. Harry and Meghan are still trying to do the roiling thing, thinking that it's enough that they just show up and walk around with the first responders, as if that's going to make the situation any better. If you notice from the mayor's speech, he didn't really say anything that Harry and Meghan did that was worth of substance. They didn't make any sort of meaningful impact aside from showing up in their presence, lifted spirits. Like, who gives a shit? It's time for Harry and Meghan to put up or shut up and go away. As you can see, they're saying their goodbyes. They accomplished what they came there to do, which was get the photo op of them touring and hugging the mayor and being all buddy-buddy with Jose Andres to show that they are some type of global leaders that are making impact in this world. When all this is a clear paparazzi walk to the next level. It's quite disgusting. The fake compassion to me screams of insensitivity, and it's time we call them out for being the ambulance chasers that they are. America and the world are tired of this charade. We don't want their fake concern. We want genuine help or for them to just go away. So Harry and Meghan, here's the message from everyone who's had enough. You're not fooling anyone with your crocodile tears and staged appearances. You need to stop exploiting tragedies for your PR stunts. Go away, or at least do something real for a change. This ranks up there with the Uvalde stunt that Meghan pulled. Who remembers Meghan bringing some chips and some stale sandwiches over while she walked around being filmed with her camera crew exploiting dead children? I mean, these two really have zero shame.
But first I want to bring in, and just standing next to me is Chef Jose Andres and actress Jennifer Garner. If you can join me now. I literally just saw them on the road and flagged them down and asked them to come join me.
I guarantee Meghan Markle saw Jennifer Garner being featured in People magazine, stepping up and helping World Central Kitchen. And that's when Harry and Meghan sprung into action saying, we need to get our faces out there as well and be seen. But see, the difference between these two celebrities is that Jennifer Garner stepped up, didn't call the paparazzi to be filming her and promoting her. It really is her helping the community because she is part of the community. She's been at this now for a couple days, not 17 minutes.
Chef, I want to begin with you. I have to say, this is the last place I ever thought I would see you. Well, I thought I would be sent to somewhere else in the world that would experience something like this, and not to my hometown. What are you doing right now?
Well, it's what World Central Kitchen does. Be next to the people. We activated 1 hour after the fires began because, unfortunately, we have a lot of experience in fires and a lot of team members in LA. And as we saw that the fires keep growing, we keep adding more team members, more food trucks, and we're feeding people in shelters. We are feeding first responders. We are adapting because the situation keeps evolving day by day. And we are in every community, in every shelter, or in the places where the fire trucks gather to make sure that everybody is receiving food and water.
Truly unstoppable. If you are, that is true. If you are watching this right now and you're in Los Angeles County, you've been evacuated and you'd like a hot meal, where do you go? Well,
the good news is that it's not only what World Central Kitchen does. Yeah. In the worst moments of humanity, the best of humanity shows up. So it's plenty of restaurants and chefs popping up in the middle of nowhere and doing tacos or hot dogs. So this is fortunately, this is the beauty of moments like this. But obviously, you can go to the worldcentralkitchen.org webpage. We're in a lot of places. We are in a lot of communities. And there you will find some of the places that we are providing meals for the community, on top of the shelters and on top of, obviously, the first responders that we are feeding everywhere we feel they need our help.
Jen, I know you're helping out. Why was it so important for you to link up with Jose for this?
Well, I've lived in and around the Palisades for 25 years. So I think all of us we want to get our hands into working somehow to be helpful. And because of my work with Save the Children, we have a relationship with Chef, and I was able to just say, can I be with you for the day? What can I do to help put me to work? And
this is intensely personal for you. You just mentioned it's your neighbor. You lived here for a long time. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been trying to describe the Alphabet Streets, which are behind us. We're on 5th right now, if anybody knows.
Can I tell you, my best friend's house was down the street. They had a gong in their front yard. There were so many kids. Yeah. There were so many kids that played in the street, and they would hit the gong at the end of the day and call them home, just like neighborhoods across the country. It is not some faraway place that you can't reach. This is like the street we run down on 5Ks. This is where the little fire truck that God bless our firefighters. This is where the fire truck goes, you know, on the 4th of July parade. This is a neighborhood. It's a neighborhood.
One thing I'd like to point out, the one thing that you're not seeing from Meghan Markle, being that she's from LA and grew up allegedly in LA, are any of these kind of stories about her childhood burning down to the ground. This is why I call bullshit on everything that we were told about her childhood. This woman probably didn't even grow up in LA, but they created a whole narrative around this woman. Does anybody think that this reaction and behavior that Meghan is showing is normal? Especially if this is the place where allegedly she grew up? No, it's not. And where's Doria? Doria also lives in LA or has a house somewhere in LA. Is she okay?
One of the places that is close to me that I know is close to you is the Methodist Church.
Yeah.
It's right across the street from Palisades Elementary. When I was a kid, I did the bells. I sang in the choir, poorly. It's gone.
Yeah.
What did it mean to you?
I mean, it's my family's church, and it's where my kids went to Sunday school. We lit the Advent candle together there a couple of weeks ago. We watched the little kids perform. It's a preschool. It's a central place for our community. There's so many incredible AA meetings, Al-Anon meetings. You know, it was a gathering. It's a gathering point for the entire community, and full of really quirky, cool, mostly blue collar people of the community, and just like I love belonging there because wherever I went, I would run into somebody from our.
Do they still do after services on Sunday? Did everyone still gather outside
for coffee?
Cookies and
cookies and coffee.
Donuts.
Yeah.
It was. I remember vividly being a part of that and and feeling like I was a part of a community. And I went to the same youth group. How has it been? I'm struggling personally to just kind of make sense of all of this. How has it been for you? And I know you lost a friend.
I did lose a friend, and for our church, it's really tender, so I don't feel like I should talk about her yet. But I did lose a friend who did not get out in time, and you know.
Well, how has it been for you just to see all this?
It's just, my heart bleeds for my friends. I mean, I can think of 100 families, and there are 5,000 homes lost. I could just write out a list of 100 friends who lost their homes. It's just like, I feel almost guilty walking through my house. Just, you know, what can I do? How can I help? What can I offer? What do I have to offer with these hands and these walls and the safety that I have?
What is Meghan, the Immaculate Heart High School alumni, doing to help the families of students that, you know, are affected by this fire, that go to that school? You know, the school is not affected itself, but there are families that are affected. You would think Meghan, if she's from the area and grew up in the area, would be helping that route, especially with all the friends that she has, you know. This is why I don't believe her story. None of what she has told us, in my opinion, has been the truth, and we have this fraud who is trying to exploit a true tragedy, all to promote herself. Meghan Markle and her husband are two truly vile human beings to exploit something like this for their own selfish gain. You see, the difference between the real royals and these two Walmart royals is that the real royals know when to give people space. And instead of showing up and doing it for pure publicity, they do it when the timing is right to really make a difference and impact. That's why what the royals do is successful. Big difference. Meghan has no influence on anything. People see Meghan Markle for what she is, and that is a fraud. And I know that this may be a brutal call-out session, but sometimes the truth is harsh, especially when it's about the exploitation of human suffering. I've said my piece, but what do you guys think of these two clout-chasing goblins? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!
Such a fraud.